Welcome back to the Backyard Professor Chess videos. Let's do some more miniatures. What the heck, you know? It's kind of a hot topic. It's kind of got you guys a little bit excited. You're liking chess. I'm liking chess. We're having fun. We're learning. I've got a couple of games here that are quite surprising and very instructive. Spielman versus Bogoljubov in 1923. Now, poor Bog, he has a bad rap because, of course, he's the one that played Alekin for the World Chess Championship, and Alekin just waltzed all over him. It was really, honestly, a no contest. And so we've kind of always thought, well, Bogoljubov didn't know how to play good chess. Let's check it out. Spielman is white. Now, Spielman was one of the singular most powerful players of his day in the 1920s. Truly. He just missed getting to world champion. He was very, very good. These guys were all quite prominent in the 1920s. And he throws a king gambit at Bog, and Bog says, okay, let's do this. Let's do this, and Spielman says, all right, but I'm going to play it this way. And Bog says, not a problem, I'm going to pull my knight out and we'll develop. And Spielman says, certainly, let's develop. Let's keep it going. And now he realizes at this point, pawn queen 4 isn't going to cut it yet. There's still some preparatory work to make his center work. And so the extra pawn move. I say extra, it's not really extra, but obviously Spielman has the center under domination at this point. Bog doesn't seem to worry about it too much. He's going to come, and this move actually attacks the king pawn, doesn't it? The e pawn. Because by stopping the knight from defending e4, now he can take it with his knight. That's interesting that the bishop move does not attack the knight. The bishop move attacks this pawn via the knight. Kind of fun to see, isn't it? So again, the usefulness of that pin on the knight here. So this is why Spielman brought his queen to f3. Another way to defend the central king pawn. And so we get an interesting development, and now Bog just simply goes to work. He says, okay, I'm going to go for the direct frontal attack then. So here we go. Here comes the center argument. Let's see what happens with this argument as Bog is playing simply one of the most remarkable chess players of his day. He will castle, and now, of course, now this knight move by Bog makes beautiful sense because the file here. Yeah? So Bog is going to stop the check on the file at this point, and so now Bog will exchange. So that was, the castling was an intermediate move to exchanging the central pawn. Yeah, so now Spielman will bop his bishop back, and Bog will bring his other bishop out. Very interesting move here. And the queen will take the pawn. Did Bog just lose a pawn for nothing? Not necessarily. Let's watch. Now Bog does something that we all love to see in these chess miniatures. The unexpected move. The development is not complete, not by a long shot. The center is going to be contested, absolutely certainly, and yet Bog breaks a rule of moving the same piece twice, but in this instance, he eliminates the knight. Blam! So now you go, okay, whoa, here we go. This also makes it so that Spielman can't do a quick castle. And he's still on the E file. Yeah? So this could get dangerous only if they continue developing. You can't do a 1 or 2 piece attack. You must get your whole army into it. Hence, the knight move. Makes perfect sense. And now, Spielman will continue developing. He's got a fantastic looking center. There's no question about that. And Bog will also improve his development. Take the file. What the heck? And that file in these miniatures always plays such an important part, as we've seen so many of these games. So here we go. We're in for a real rough ride if Spielman isn't careful. He's going to continue developing, and so will Bog. Now he's really taking command of the E file. There's no question about that. Spielman has it under control at this point. Here comes Bog. Rook A to D8. Spielman's going to go ahead and artificially castle. Time to get the king. Look. You got to get the king out of the way. You have to take the time and see artificial castling. It added a move to white. So, black gained a move. That is why black felt justified, even though he moved the bishop twice to take the knight. He moved it out to develop and then took the knight. But that added an extra move to white at a crucial point in the game, and therefore black has an advantage now. Very interesting how that works. Fun to see, fun to learn, fun to realize, that's the value. So he broke a beginning rule, moving a piece twice before fully developed. In the process, he gained time, which justified him breaking that rule. Isn't that interesting how that works? It really does justify it too. Let's keep watching now. So king goes to F1, and here comes the rook to D6. The queen will come to H4. Now watch out. The queen on the H file, and Bog is castled, so let's be careful. The two bishops are in a mighty fine position. Notice what is preventing white from a successful kingside attack. This is one of the reasons I wanted to show you this game. We have seen this kind of setup a lot in the previous 7 videos, haven't we? The queen gets on the H file. The two bishops are aiming at the king's side. So what do you have to prevent your opponent from getting a really good kingside attack? A very good guardian of the king. Why is this knight a good guardian of the king? Because it's covering H7. If white is going to be able to have a successful attack, he's got to find a way to uncover H7. That means eliminate the knight somehow. That's the power of that guardian of the king's side, that knight. I just want to point that out to you. It's really, really a crucial piece of this game here. So, Bog will now take this knight with the bishop. Notice what this does. It opens up a square, a potential for Bog to attack. Okay? Watch. This is so, quite frankly, remarkable. Now, Spielman sees it, right? I already basically gave it away of what Spielman's next move was going to be. He can eliminate that knight. In so doing, he improves his attacking chances against black's castled king. So, the argument, the strategy is get rid, and that means a sacrifice, or at least an exchange, get rid of that guardian. it will weaken the king cover. So that move makes really good sense. Watch what happens, however, when Bog takes the pawn. Very interesting material going on in this game now. What do you do now? You've proceeded with your attack. So you can't stop now. The downside is that E-file, man. Yeah. Watch the role that E-file plays. He does remove the guardian. Fundamentally so. Absolutely. The queen will retake, not the pawn. This also makes sense. If Bog can change the queens, there is no attack. Yeah, there's no reason to keep the queens on the board from Black's point of view. That's why that exchange makes beautiful sense. And now queen takes h7, check, and king comes to f8, and white resigned. Look at this. Look at this. Again, the power of the file. The reason why is, if he does go rook takes queen, then the rook takes the rook, check. Right? That's what they're saying. And then, with the bishop f5, now the rook to h6 wins the queen. So that is a remarkably interesting game. Don't go away. I have another one. Oh, have I got a game to show you this next one. Fabulous. So this game played in 1920 by Adams and Torre. Torre was the Mexican superstar on the rise that was a child prodigy when he was in his youth, and he was simply wiping out everybody he was playing. He was a very young Capablanca type. So let's see how Adams and Torre plays. Adams is white, Torre is black, e4, e5, knight f3, so we've got a king pawn opening. Here we go. Okay, good enough, good enough. d4, okay, and then the e will take the d4. And Adams surprises us because he does something we've been advised not to. He retakes with the queen. And Torre says, I like this a lot, because now I am going to get advantage of this chumply, but Adams brings out his bishop. Puts the kibosh on making him move his queen twice. So he says, that's not a problem, I will take that away, and now I will make you move your queen. And Adams says, nope, not happening. I want my queen right where she is. So Torre makes the best of a bad situation. He said, all right, I will exchange. Notice, rather than simply move his queen away and out of danger, say to king 3, to e3, I mean. Yeah, king 3 or e3. He wants to leave his queen there, so he gave up the bishop pair. Kind of interesting, isn't it? Yeah. Whoa. We're told that's probably not the best thing you can do, but Adams did. So here come the knights. Adams is going to castle. Torre is going to prepare to castle with a very interesting idea here. Now watch what Torre does in this instance. Torre gives up the bishop pair. He said, no, I'm going to take the knight with the bishop. And then the pawn will take the bishop, and now he castles. So we're all castled, we're getting fully developed, we're having an argument in the center, we're trying to see who gets to get the advantage, and g5, bishop g5, here we go. Here comes Adams. Torre says, I'm not going to worry about that at this point, I am going to hit the center. Here comes Adams supporting the center. The c will take the d pawn anyway, which is good, and the c will take the d pawn, leaving him with an isolated pawn, but the white isolated pawn is advanced. Technically, it's not under attack, so we'll see if that will affect him in a negative way, and now Torre bumps the a pawn. Adams will bring the rook on the e file. Torre will answer. Now, again, the e file with the rooks, but this time, rather than one or the other dominating the e file, just like we saw in the last game, they are going to argue over it, which is probably a pretty good thing to do. Yeah, that is, the e file is usually really, truly one of the important ones. You can get a lot of head of steam by dominating that e file. Torre realizes that, and so does Adams. Watch how Adams plays this. Torre brings his other rook in, and Adams doubles the rooks on that very important e file. Again, very important to see this. Torre is going to connect his rooks just to make sure, and now the bishop takes what? What did the bishop take? The guardian of the king. He took the knight. That is really important. Notice how Torre responds with the bishop take, not the pawn take. Leave those pawns intact, man. And now, here we go. White is willing to get rid of the queens. Except wait. Did he just mess up and lose his queen? No. The queen cannot be taken. If the queen takes the queen, there's a back rank checkmate. Did you notice that? That is why it was so valuable for white to take that knight. Because black did not have a back rank checkmate weakness with the guardian of the king, because he was guarding that square. But that square is now weak. Is that not ironic? Look, the rook is covered by the rook, for Pete's sake. The rook is also covered by the queen, for Pete's sake. How can you say that square is weak? Because there's going to be a back rank checkmate if that rook is not protected by the queen. Very interesting, isn't it? Wow. So, come and get your queen, baby. And he says, no, I don't think so. Notice how black moves his queen. He must stay on the diagonal to protect the weak back rank. Yeah. Have you ever seen, you have, but I mean, to call the back rank weak when there's both rooks is really astonishing, but that's the case here. Torre is really, really wishing right now that instead of pushing the A pawn, he had bumped the H. I guarantee it. He's thinking, dang it, man, I pushed the wrong pawn. I need an escape square for my king, but it's too late. And again, notice the factor that plays such an influential role is that E file. Yeah, man, that is so important. Yes. So he brings the queen over to c4. Now, look. Not only can the queen take it, but so can the rook. And yet, neither one can take that queen. But White's trying to get him to take that queen. That move is just staggering, isn't it? Would you have seen that? Would you have known the back rank is weak? When it's weak like that, you can sacrifice your pieces like this. So queen c4, and he goes back. He says, no, I don't want to sacrifice. I don't want to take your queen. So what do you do at this point? Obviously, black is not going to move off of that diagonal. He's going to be able to keep his back rank strong, after all, by guarding it with the queen and the rook. And so white next does one of the most electrifying moves I have ever seen in all of chess. Just take a look at that for a second. Queen c7, man. Again, he can't. The queen is a... Now, that's the third time that white has offered his queen for free. He can't get black to take the queen. Oh, and now he attacks the queen. But the queen simply takes the pawn. Right? And now he attacks the queen again. And the queen comes back to b5. And now finally, white takes the pawn. And it's at this point that black resigned, because there's no winning now. He must take the queen, or the queen is going to take the rook. So once queen takes b7, that's when black resigned. Because he can't win. He can't take the queen, but he can't move his queen out of danger either. He's going to lose his queen if he does anything at all. He can't go to there, the queen will take it. And the rooks play no part, and the rooks can't be protected. So that's where black resigned. 4 times white offered his queen because black's back rank was weak. Nice little chess lesson, isn't it? True story, man. That's phenomenal. So there is your chess video with a couple of more quick chess miniatures. I got these out of the really excellent book by Tartakower and J. Dumont, 500 Master Games of Chess. Fantastic book of absolutely electrifying chess, no matter what game it is, from all of the greats, from the middle 1800s all the way up into the 1950s. So, fabulous book. Great way to study chess. I've got a lot more miniatures and different materials that I'm going to show you from that book as well. So, once again, be good, do well, have fun, be friends, be nice, and have a great day, and I will see you in the next Backyard Professor Chess video.